The most brutal foods of the Middle Ages. The unimaginable diet of peasants. Discover 15 foods that saved peasants in the Middle Ages. Look closely. Each of these foods played a key role in the survival of medieval peasants. In times of scarcity and harsh living conditions, creativity and ingenuity were essential. These simple but vital foods represented much more than nourishment. They were resources for survival, energy, and health. Imagine living near the coast, in a time when food was limited and fresh meat was a luxury. Herring, small but rich in protein, became a mainstay of the diet. Because it could be easily preserved in salt or air-dried, this fish was available all year round. Despite its intense flavor, it was enough to soak it before cooking to make it more delicate and perfect for soups and stews. Cheap and nutritious, it was essential to face days of work in the fields. Another crucial resource was ale. With a low alcohol content, between 1 and 3%, it not only quenched thirst, but was a safe alternative to often contaminated water. Even children drank it. It was easy to make at home and provided valuable calories for daily physical labor. During the harvest season, apples were not only a tasty fruit, but also the basis of cider, a fermented drink with a low alcohol content, 4 to 8%, useful for preserving fruit and providing energy. Cider was consumed regularly, but especially during feasts and celebrations. Less common but highly prized was mead, a fermented honey wine known as liquid gold. It was consumed on special occasions, but also used in folk medicine. Honey itself was a prized commodity, used for sweetening, healing wounds, relieving coughs, and even for trade. With the arrival of spring, farmers picked berries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. Even though they were seasonal, they knew how to preserve them as jams and jellies for the winter. These fruits offered an important supply of vitamins, useful for strengthening the immune system. Chestnuts were a fundamental source of carbohydrates. Rich in starch, they were eaten fresh, dried or transformed into flour for bread and soups. Chestnut trees provided large quantities of fruit, becoming an irreplaceable resource for peasant families. During food crises, acorns became indispensable. Despite their bitter taste, they were processed and ground into flour for bread and stews. They were difficult to prepare, but abundant in the woods, and therefore crucial in the winter months. Walnuts, almonds, and hazelnuts were harvested in the fall and stored all year round. Rich in good fats and calories, they were perfect for recharging between activities in the fields. Plants that are often overlooked today, such as the dandelion, were once highly valued. The leaves, rich in vitamins, were used fresh or cooked. They helped rebalance the diet after the cold and heavy months of winter. Even nettles, although stinging, were a rich source of iron and vitamins, used in soups, infusions, and medicines. Another useful plant was sorrel, with a sour taste. Used to flavor dishes, it was one of the few natural sources of vitamin C, essential for preventing deficiency diseases. In the woods, farmers also picked mushrooms, a nutritious but risky food, requiring special knowledge to avoid poisonous ones. Mushrooms were a tasty addition to soups and stews, but also a valuable energy food. Wild elderberry, or wild garlic, was prized for its flavor and medicinal properties. It added flavor and helped fight colds and infections. Finally, the wild onion, easy to grow and preserve, was a constant presence in peasant cuisine. In addition to enriching the simplest dishes, it had beneficial effects on digestion and general health. These 15 humble but essential foods are a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of medieval peasants. In a time of poverty and daily challenges, they managed to transform what nature offered into sources of energy, health, and hope. That's all for today, and what do you think of this medieval peasant diet? Let me know in the comments by telling me your thoughts. See you next time, bye.